Welcome to a discussion of the library method and its participation in spectral confirmation. This discussion will clarify the difference between a reference library and a spectral search library. So, the distinction. The purpose is different. The purpose of the reference library is to fetch a single library entry, a fixed comparison between your actual acquired spectrum associated with a peak and the reference spectrum, and to give you a comparison which could build confidence, sureness in your result. So the reference library actually just holds the reference spectra. So my actual is compared to the reference, yielding a library match score that is typically shown with this head-to-tail presentation. Here is a workflow example that takes MS scan data, and I found a target, and from that peak I can take the spectra, that actual spectra, and compare it to the spectra from a reference library, use a dot product to calculate a library match score. If that library match score is high, that provides confirmational evidence that I actually have the right determination. More ions are typically involved in the spectra than just the target and qualifiers in quantitation. Let's talk about the purpose of the spectral library. A different purpose than the reference library. With the spectral library, I'm taking a spectra, could be derived from a target, and I'm using that spectra and comparing it to the entries in the library to find a good match. That match can help me with compound identification. This workflow uses spectral searching. I am doing my quantitation on this side, but on the right side here, I'm going to take unknowns, do deconvolution to find components, and then I'm going to take those components and search them against the spectral library to attempt to identify them by their spectra. Again, a library match is created and hits are assigned. The purpose of this non-target workflow is to match up against the targets and to produce a non-target tentatively identified compound list. But the point I'd like to make here is that this is a searching workflow where components are searched against the libraries presented to get good hits. Let's turn our attention to the quant method editor and the setup of the library in terms of the reference library and the library method. Here is the shipping example, RI pest matrix, which uses a reference library storing the pesticide spectra in this file, and that's designated as the reference library. That works, and that's been shipping for quite a while. That's the base case of quantitation using spectral referencing as a confidence sureness measure. So the reference library workflow is supported, and you can probably stop there if that's all you're doing. If you want to configure the library method to control searches done in the quant method editor, then let me go and add the library method. And I'll look at the library declaration. In this case, I've put the same library as the reference library as the first entry. So by convention, that will be taken as the reference library. I also have another library that I'm going to search, which is the NIST library. So I can do searches, and this will declare the way those searches are done, as we've discussed in the library method. Thanks for your attention.